Hello, gentlemen. This is going to be the final installment on the 1966 Dodge Dart Starship 2. I'm going to hit on the transmission very quickly. There's not a lot to hit on there, and I'm going to stop after this with the Starship series and make a MGTOW video because I've got something stuck in my craw here about this entire thing, and I'm going to put it out there in another video, and I'm going to give the car business and bike building and what have you a break for right now. So let me get to the transmission right now. We'll get through this as quickly as possible without boring everybody to tears. This was a C6 transmission, 3-speed, stock housing. It had the dual mount, which was the rear mount for the Lincolns. They had two mounts on either side of the transmission. Of course, like I said before, they had no rubber in them. They were solid welded mounts. In either case, the transmission, the kit I used was a Kevlar kit. The clutches were Kevlar. I also went through about 5 or 6 different C6 trannies that I'd gotten out of other Lincolns until I found 3 of the clutch drums that were what I call a deep dish, or a multi-stack drum that had 4 to 5 clutch plates in it apiece. Some of these came from the factory with three clutch plates, and that just wasn't going to hold on a drag car. So I put all the deep dish drums in there, Kevlar clutches, Kevlar band. Then the servo, the second gear shift servo, was from JW's. It was a big bore servo. You just threw the original one, the housing, everything right out the door, plugged up the return hole with a set screw, comes with a kit, and you put this giant servo piston in there. Thing really worked well. I also ran a reverse shift pattern valve body, and that was a JW as well. Everything JW made back then, it was flawless. It really was. I mean, this stuff was fantastic. The torque converter I ran was a 10-inch 4,000 stall, which ended up being a little bit too high, and I later went to a different B&M torque converter, but not on this car. I did that on Starship 2.5. And I want to hit just real quickly the drive shaft length, if anybody's considering moving it back. It was a very short 46 and an 1/8 inch long, flange to flange, center of the flange actually. So not much else to add to this. I'm not going to go into the thickness of the Lexan. I'm not going to go into the thickness of the firewall and everything else. It seems that might be a little bit much for a YouTube video. And these specs may have changed also according to NHRA rule books. So I'm not going to put that out there. And to recap on a few other things, yes, I did run an alternator. Most guys don't. I preferred to because even a 100 amp alternator, which I had custom built, was a very little drain as opposed to keeping that battery up to crank that motor over. So again, if anybody has any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. As far as the rest of the build goes, like I said, Starship 2.5 is going to be a lot more interesting. But right now, I'm not really that concerned about making that one. There doesn't seem to be a huge amount of interest in it. I can't get people motivated into doing something with their hands, which I thought men enjoyed doing, dealing with machines. But I guess I'm a little bit behind the times, and sitting at home playing with a game console might be more advantageous. Though at my age, I've learned and gotten inspired by Zeta X and Felix Una to play a little bit with the movie maker, and I hope that turned out well. So we'll go on from here, and I'm going to make a MGTOW video or two in the future, see if there's any more interest in the building. If there isn't, I just won't do it. It's too much work. So in either case, I hope you guys enjoyed this this little series here with the Mercedes, and then moving on into the Dodge Dart, and we'll see where we go from here. All right, you guys take care, man. I wish you all well.